Socrates said the unexamined life is not worth living. And I always keep that philosophy in mind. Similarly, in today's media environment, the unexamined story is not worth reading. Not only because scrutiny is the only path to the truth, but because, as in today's case, using a critical eye to take a closer look can be wildly entertaining. You may have seen stories circulating recently about ads recruiting paid protesters to demonstrate at inauguration. The group, something called Demand Protest, was offering $50 an hour and a $2,500 monthly retainer for paid protest work, advertising specific need to cover Trump's swearing-in ceremony in D.C. And several websites gave these ads coverage without much skepticism, reporting the expected paid presence to descend upon D.C. to create chaos. But there were several red flags that should have prompted some skepticism from the people running these stories. As we'll see on Tucker Carlson in just a minute, think about the math involved here. The ad says $2,500 a month in retainers alone. The website says 1,800 paid protesters on staff. That's $54 million if they retain these workers annually. That's an insane budget for an organization nobody's ever heard of. Furthermore, they're posting recruitment ads everywhere, but if you go on their website, it says don't bother applying, and the website itself has only been up since early December. And if you call their phone number, it sounds like you're trying to pay a power bill.
Thank you for calling Demand Protest. Please enter your account ID followed by pound.
Who the hell has an account number at a protest company?
Demand Protest?
Hey, yeah, I need a quick flash mob and put it on my tab. I'm a regular. Despite the question marks, this alleged company received the coverage it did, and an alleged representative of this alleged company made his way onto Tucker Carlson tonight on Fox News. Tucker challenges him right away, asking the questions that should be asked, and watching this interview is a roller coaster of opinion and perspective. At the start of my first listen, I'm thinking, this dude is such a liar. And by the end, I realize this guy is an amazing liar who is using his talent to illustrate a point. Watching the interview, my eyebrows kept raising with skepticism until they reached the full ascent of enlightenment. My God, I see what he did there. The interview starts on bizarre but believable terms, and this alleged company rep keeps stacking layers of absurdity until we can see what he's doing. First things first.
So, this is a sham. Your company isn't real. Your website is fake. The claims you have made are lies. This is a hoax. Let me start at the beginning, however, with your name, Dom Tullipso, which is not your real name. It's a fake name. Well, we ran you through law enforcement level background checks, and that name does not exist. So let's start out with the truth. Tell me what your real name is.
It's Dominic Tullipso. It's per L's are silent.
Ooh, Tullipso. How exotic. How intriguing. How peculiar. The L is silent. If the exotic name doesn't tip you off that something's up here, the exotic math adds another layer of intrigue.
Let me just satisfy our viewers who may be thinking, well, maybe we're miscalling this. On your website, you claim that you pay a retainer to 1,817 operatives every month. Now, if that were actually true, that's $54 million a year you're spending just on retainers. It's another $30 million a year if you're paying them for 6 hours a week work. That's demonstrably silly. You're not doing that.
No, we're actually doing $80 million a year. So I don't know quite where you got those numbers, but those are definitely obviously dated. I do want to mention the fact.
Wait. So hold on.
Oh,
you're not.
And at this point, the suspicion sets in. This guy confidently says the figures on his website are dated, even though Tucker knows his website is brand new.
Your website was just put up. Your Facebook page, same thing.
How could someone defy the truth like that with a straight face? Then you realize the straight face is glorious performance art. You realize this isn't lying. It's God-tier trolling.
What point are you trying to make?
Yeah. The main point basically is that we are greatly supportive of national treasures such as Julian Assange, Edward Snowden, Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning, how dare you? She goes by Chelsea now. Chelsea Manning back to pass. Oh no, a fumble. That's right, she ironically lost the ball. Oh boy, you just can't even write this stuff. But my, isn't she stunning and brave?
Right.
And we really support their efforts to really get the truth out there. And in the case of the current client that we have right now, that client is very interested in releasing the Roswell papers. I don't know what.
Really? So you're pretty supportive of Peyton Manning, are you?
Extremely, yeah.
Of course, support from patriots like Dom Tullipso allowed Peyton Manning to fight off those bullshit HGH allegations and retire a champion. Appreciate the expert level irony and sarcasm here. This guy describes something we all think should be impossible, making it onto a national platform with no credibility. All the while he's doing exactly that.
Basically, there's no way that a legitimate news agency would have somebody on that didn't really know what they were saying or was just kind of talking out of their behinds. There's a certain amount of vetting that goes on behind every news organization. So I would assume that I wouldn't be given airtime on a national stage unless I was legitimate.
This guy walked into a studio with no proof of who he is and made it onto national broadcast with nothing truthful to say, just to show how easy it is. And the only reason we know that is because he intentionally made his story just a few degrees too silly to be believable, and he owned up to it in the end.
I'm just surprised you put me on. That's what's surprising.
I love when people cleverly illustrate just how easily broadcast messages can be manipulated, which in turn illustrates how important it is for each of us to be critical with any message we encounter. Unfortunately, Dom Tullipso remains a man of mystery. Who is he really, and how did Fox News even contact him in the first place? I don't know much about Dom Tullipso, but I do know this. He's a humble man. He wouldn't say this about himself, but given his god-tier trolling and the point he made about easy media manipulation, I put him squarely among the ranks of all the other national treasures. Assange, Snowden, Manning, and Tullipso, a 21st century Mount Rushmore. Thank you for your service. Thanks as always for listening and for supporting this channel. Always appreciate that thoughtful discussion down below, and especially over on Twitter. That is at ML Christiansen. You're always welcome to come hang out and chat in my live streams. Those are linked down in the description. Looking forward to it. Okay, bye.